Welcome to a new episode of Alternative Indian Media. We strive to create political consciousness among the masses. In this episode, we are going to analyze the rise of communism and fascism from the point of view of Hegelian dialectic. By now, we know that Hegelian dialectic is a political science tool or a political science principle that is used by the ruling elites in order to extend and perpetuate their own field of class interest. We also understand that Hegelian dialectic comprises of three distinctive stages or phases: thesis, also called as action or problem; anti-thesis, also called as reaction; and synthesis, also called as result or outcome or solution. We have seen how this notorious political science tool called Hegelian dialectic can be used by the ruling machinery in order to set their own narrative, a narrative that suits their purpose. However, the same principle of Hegelian dialectic can be used to prop up controlled oppositions with an aim to bring in socio-political subversion. Naturally, question comes: how can that be possible? Well, we have talked about thesis and anti-thesis. Thesis or action is the enactment of an event. This can be a well-orchestrated socio-political movement or a people uprising like Bolshevik Revolution in Russia that imposed communism upon the Russians. Anti-thesis is the reaction to thesis or action. It could also be seen as the rise of right-wing fascist and white supremacist ideologies in Germany, Austria, and Italy. Therefore, from the point of view of Hegelian dialectic, left-wing ideology of communism can be considered as thesis or action, and the right-wing ideology of fascism or Nazism can be considered as antithesis or reaction. In 1917, Bolshevik Revolution broke out in Russia. Bolshevik Revolution was not a spontaneous uprising of the people. Contrary to what people might think, Bolshevik Revolution was funded and orchestrated by the ruling elites or globalists of that era, based out of Germany, Britain, and United States of America. Immensely rich Jacob Schiff was one among these elites. He was of Jewish descent from Frankfurt, Germany. He later migrated to USA and became the top brass at the Kuhn-Loeb and Company. Jacob Schiff was well entrenched within the Judeo-Christian oligarchy. Frontline leaders of Bolshevik Revolution such as Vladimir Lenin, Leon Bronstein, or Leon Trotsky enjoyed close proximity with Jacob Schiff. Money was pumped in by the elites via Jacob Schiff through Lenin and Trotsky. And finally, Tsar Nicholas II was overthrown, his entire family was slaughtered, and communism was imposed upon the Russians. Similarly, prior to the Second World War, elitist ideologues from Germany and Austria propped up the idea of Aryanism and supremacism. They created a myth around the racial superiority of the Germanic race and propped up Adolf Hitler and his Nazi party. This culminated into Adolf Hitler's brand of aggressive nationalism. When this brand of aggressive nationalism got mixed up with socialism, carefully crafted through social engineering, with a pretext of the so-called superiority of the Germanic race, gave rise to an explosive ideology called Nazism. Judeo-Christian elites would then go on to create massive German war machine by funding into companies such as ThyssenKrupp or, for that matter, Rheinmetall Corporation. Question is how this is related to Hegelian dialectic. Ruling elites use Hegelian dialectic in order to polarize the society among two seemingly contradictory or conflicting ideologies. These ideologies, such as left-wing and right-wing ideologies, or for that matter communism and fascism, are seemingly contradictory. But they are designed to serve the purpose of the ruling elites. They are like the opposite sides of the same coin. Once the society gets completely polarized among these seemingly contradictory ideologies, elites then orchestrate a clash or conflict among these two seemingly contradictory ideologies. And, as a result of this conflict, a synthesis or synthetic solution is obtained. Second World War could be seen as a conflict or clash of two seemingly contradictory ideologies. A left-wing communist Soviet Russia pitted against a right-wing Nazi Germany. We used the word seemingly in order to make it clear that although these ideologies such as communism and fascism are contradictory in nature, Together they serve the purpose of the ruling elites, and when these contradictory ideologies clash, a synthesis is reached or a synthetic solution is obtained. Second World War saw the death and destruction of unimaginable proportion. It was an unprecedented carnage. Europe almost got destroyed. But it gave rise to an ideological state called Israel. Therefore, the formation of the ideological state of Israel can be viewed as the synthetic solution or synthesis or outcome of this conflict. Also, many European countries such as England, France, Germany, Netherlands etc. had to join the Western military alliance called NATO, thereby effectively squandering their military sovereignty. Thanks for watching this episode. Kindly share this episode and subscribe to this channel.